Midland, Michigan, famously home of the Dow Chemical Company and the home of the Northwood Wolves. The Pack has come a long way to Kalamazoo, Michigan to play the Western Michigan University Stallions, not this time at Lawson Ice Arena, but instead the home of the ECHL's Kalamazoo Wings at Wings Event Center. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike Sharippa, and I will be your play-by-play commentator for tonight's contest. I'm going to briefly stop talking for this period of time as we get into our announcements for our starting lineups and for our national anthem. Now, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the second time already this season that the Stallions and the Wolves of Northwood have faced off. The first time was played in Northwood on an Olympic-size sheet. Final score of that game was 3-1 in favor of the Northwood Wolves. Now playing on NHL-sized ice, that tight of a game, the tides could turn in favor of the Stallions tonight. But, as every great man before me has said, there's only one way to find out. In case you didn't hear the starting lineup for tonight's game, on offense will be Aiden Yorkin starting off on the wing. On the opposite, it appears as though they did not give me a number. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to tell you who was on that opposite wing and with the rest of the line, but I got lost as they did not give me the proper numbers, I don't think. But we'll make it work no less. Driscoll starting off in his own corner. Off a Stallions loss off the draw, and that play will be deemed offside after Driscoll tries to clear that one out. Driscoll and Bain to clarify here on the back end, starting in goal. Number 40, Chris Mazurek. Taking the draw is number 18, Lane Brubaker-Egner. And unfortunately, poor number 14 does not appear to be on my sheet. I will get that number and that name fixated here as soon as I can. Brubaker-Egner. In his back end, looking for Mills. The Stallions will try to clear that one out. A shot from the defense goes off the pad of Mazurek. And he'll glove that one, and a face-off will take place down in Western Michigan's defensive zone, excuse me. Not even a minute played. So far, the Stallions unable to leave their defensive zone, and as a pass across the paint. Looks to go in backdoor on Mazurek, but he'll get a pad in front as that puck will be carried out now by Goodman. Coming off of a pass from Niche. Fortson looking out now in front. As the Northwood Wolves will take it behind their own cage, off the wing, and back into the neutral zone. Defense still looking to regroup on this here as an icing will be waived. Played by Mazurek, looking for Elnick, and another shot off the blocker of Mazurek, and now out to that same corner it originated from. The defense worked their way around. Stallions getting bodies in front off of shots. Wolves looking for a centering pass, but that one will get picked off as the Stallions move forward. Elnick looking for it off a pass from Thorhog. As now that one gets sent back into the defensive zone by Horan. Another shot on and another save made by Mazurek. A wraparound shot, another save by Mazurek, another save off the pad, and a rebound save to keep it out. Just over 2 minutes played, Mazurek making a dozen saves appears to be already, keeping the Stallions in this one. Working back now for the defensive end is Jamison Bain. Working with him is Garrett Driscoll. Driscoll down to the corner with Horn for help. Cleared away. And now Horn will clear that one out of the zone. Looking for Elnick, but it will fall to the defense. Excuse me. Another shot on, another save made by Mazurek in net. Draw to be won there in favor of the Stallions. Picked up now by Jamison Bain. Getting a little choked up there at mid-ice, looking for a centering pass. Is that one to get chased into the offensive zone now by Gruda. Picked up now by A.J. Hall. A.J. Hall still battling behind the cage. A pass out in front, no one there to pick it up. Gruda's pickup gets intercepted. And now Northwood to carry it into their offensive zone, the defensive zone of the Stallions, and that play will be called offside after a player lost possession. All right, I am getting an update now. If I am reading this correctly, number 14 for the Stallions, starting off in their starting line, was forward Cam Dames. Didn't want to say that too fast. Speaking of him, now Dames chasing into the corner, trying to keep this one in, but Northwood to make a passing play to clear this one out. Another shot to go off a body, now down to the corner. Northwood still holding possession. Defense working their way around the play. Mills down in the corner. Tries to get a hit on one. The 15 will move around it. Northwood with another shot and another save made by Chris Mazurek. shoulder down to the glove. And that'll be another face-off inside Western's defensive zone. .16-10 left to play here in the first period. Half a dozen shots made here by Northwood. So far, nothing to come out of Western Michigan University. Taking that draw is Niche. Unfortunately, won't be able to win that one in his favor, as that one will get left back for Pratt. And now carried out by Tyler Fortson. Almost on a breakaway. Can't seem to break past the one. Another pass out in front, looking for Goodman. Another shot goes off from Thorhog, and that one goes high and wide. That one will be played inside the offensive zone here for the Western Michigan University Stallions. Finally getting some shots on net. Fortson almost able to break away there on a breakaway. Funny how that wordplay plays out. Northwood to win that draw. They'll take it out of their own zone. It'll wind up in the hands of Thorhog. An offside will be called. Stallions looking to regroup. Goodman over to Niche. Sends it down to the corner. Looking back for Goodman. Instead find its way to Thorhog. Thorhog tries to keep it in. Almost a turnover off the skate. And that will get played out of the zone, looking again for Goodman. Western Michigan Stallions will be offside now. Northwood will find their break. Play it into their offensive zone. Leaving it now for Jamison Bain. Bain looking for Elnick. Walker there to assist also, as that one's left back for Garrett Driscoll. Northwood wanting an icing on that one. That'll get washed by the officials. Picked up now by Western. Now in the hands of Horan. Horan looks to turn and burn that one. Will go high over the net, but still stay in play. It'll be left back for Walker. Walker still making a ruckus down in the zone. Is that going to get cleared out by Northwood, and that'll be an icing based on the FL. An icing will be delayed by the back official, but waved off by the front as Northwood will win that race. Another shot goes on, and a pad save made by Mazurek. An icing to be called there by officials. Will be sent back down to Western's offensive or defensive zone, excuse me. Keep getting those confused today. Only 5 minutes into this period. 6 technically. Still plenty of hockey left to play. Stallions to win the draw and clear it out of the defensive zone. Northwood picks it up in the neutral zone. Is able to make a play in. Another shot goes on. Denied by a body. Rebound denied by Walker. Denied by Mazurek. I almost said Walker. Don't know why. Another icing to be called. We'll send it right back down to Western's defensive zone. Didn't get it wrong that time. .20 seconds later, back at the same draw we started out, Northwood with another shot, and that one will go bar down. Northwood will take the lead 1-0 here with 13:43 remaining in the first period. Shots right now, 8 for Northwood, 0 for Western. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you see a team firing shots and another team not firing shots. One team is eventually going to outscore the other. In this case, Northwood, with far more shots on net than Western, will take the lead here in the first period. Northwood to try and play it out of their own zone. Was going to get picked, dropped to the winger, and then picked off by another Stallion. Picked up by A.J. Hull, who's on a breakaway. He's got 4 men behind him, nothing but the goalie in front. He shoots, and the goalie makes the save. He's laying on top of the puck. Seemingly it's loose, A.J. Hall turns to go back for it, but can't get back in time. A breakaway opportunity there for the Stallions, and what a save by Northwood's goaltender. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, I know you can't type out anything, but quick round of applause for number 36 between the pipes. Got to give him that one. Brubaker-Egner taking the draw here for the Stallions. Northwood will get swapped out. Brubaker-Egner unfortunately unable to win that one as Northwood carries it to their defense, and cross-ice passes will get it into the attacking zone for them. Northwood still trying to keep possession. Stallions, Puchner tries to get it out. Is that battle now almost won there by Yorkin. Brubaker-Egner and Yorkin on the puck again. Mazurek to catch behind the cage. It'll be left back for Mills. Mills looking for a way out to, do believe that was Yorkin, who will get a tip and chase. Now left for Brubaker-Egner. Gets a little tied up there in the corner. Northwood looking to break it out once again. Brubaker-Egner still trying to keep possession along the boards. Sent back in offside by Pratt. Stallions looking for a change. Niche to fire a big hit down low there. Oh, I'm sorry, not Niche, that was Dames. Our unnumbered player from earlier that fired that large hit down in the corner. Now down in the Stallions defensive zone is Thorhog. Trying to keep that one at bay. Now clearing it out to the neutral zone. And could potentially be an icing. And it will be based on the official's decision. Another whistle, another face-off taken from Western's defensive zone. And I swear if I keep getting offensive and defensive zone confused, I'm going to get fired. Draw to be won there in favor of Northwood. Stallions, though, to take advantage as Goodman looks for a pass to Fortson. Fortson unable to make a play out of that there. Niche gets a stick in on it, though, and it's picked up again by Goodman. Goodman looking to move down to Fortson. Fortson unable to keep possession. Niche tries to get a stick on it. Now it's left back for Garrett Driscoll to send that one back in. Stallions looking for a change. Fortson and Niche to challenge down in the corner. Fortson to pick it up off a trailed stick there. Still on the blue line. It's onside. And playing it now to the corner is Elenick. Northwood will look for a D-to-D pass. Now looking for a pass out to the neutral zone. That one will get picked off by Horan. Drop down now for Jamison Bain. Bain looking for Elenick. Needs Walker to assist. Another shot, and that one to go wide. Walker there to play on that one. Still down in the zone. Defense, they're able to keep it away. That one was Jamison Bain. Walker looking back to Bain. Bain won't be able to hold it, but Mazurek will. Just over half the period remaining. Stallions still down by 1 goal and still down by 8 shots. If I were the Stallions at this point, I would be looking for long playable passes that can turn into decent shooting opportunities. And Gruda might be the one to start. A little pass to get him out of the zone. Gruda will get laid out. There to help those to Poit. That would get sent out. Another shot and another glove save by Mazurek. Stallions appear to be discussing a way as to how to get out of the zone, or it looks like someone may potentially Never mind. I was thinking that someone may potentially be injured because the medic is coming onto the ice, but the medic is coming onto the ice to go sit on the bench, for there is no other way for him to get there. We have medical staff that's sort of bouncing around between the high school game happening just on the other side of the rink here and the Stallions game taking place here on the main arena. It's good to see that we can have one man in two places at once and that everybody will be in a safe environment if they're hurt. Brubaker Egner to Dames, trying to get that one out. And now that one falls back for Pratt. And that door will fly right open on a hit from Pratt and Brubaker Egner. Play will stop in order to close said door. And a last play faceoff will take place in the Stallions' defensive zone. Northwood to win that draw. A D-to-D pass. Is able to get it down to the corner. They'll cycle it back up for another shot, and that one off the pad of Mazurek. Another shot, goes off a body, floats out in front, turns, another shot, and that one again off the pad of Mazurek. Stallions to clear that one out of their offensive zone. Trying to avoid it too many men there on a quick change as they'll send right back down to their defensive zone to carry that one out as Thorhog. Looking for Dames, and another shot, and that one to fly just high. That one left for Niche, as Thorhog is able to keep that one in. York in there to assist also. Now Northwood send that one in deep to the corner. Picked up by Driscoll. Driscoll to be assisted by Goodman and by Thorhog, his defensive partner. Another shot to go on, and Mazurek to glove save that one again. We may only be 11 minutes into this first period, but if I'm giving play of the game to anybody right now, it has got to be Chris Mazurek for the Stallions. Man has faced 13 shots on goal with 1 goal so far here only in the first period. There is still so much hockey left to play. And Chris Mazurek, right now a one-man army, keeping the Stallions alive in this game by standing on his head. Tyler Fortson now wants his own little spotlight. Let's see if he'll get it. He'll wrap around, potentially looking for a pass. Still able to hold on to the puck here in the deep corner. Unable to find a play out as two bodies will be there. Goodman will be there to assist. Niche to follow up on that player breaking out. And now Driscoll left back on the offenseman, who's there for the long pass. Fortson there to intercept that one. Niche there to help him also. Fortson looking for Niche. Potentially a quick centering pass out to Goodman will make it. Now out of the wing, a shot goes off a body, and that one sent out to the opposing corner. Now picked up by Northwood and carried up along the wing. Northwood will play it offside on that one. It'll get picked up by Walker. Walker looking potentially for Jamison Bain there originally, but that one will be sent in. Walker sends it back in again. Elnick on this one now. Horan there to assist also. Mills trying to keep this one in the neutral zone. But here comes Northwood. Drop pass intercepted, now left back for Walker. And there's Horan again. Eli Puchner there with a big hit, trying to get in the way. A wraparound shot, and he'll score. With 7:30 left on the clock here in the first period, it will be 2-0 in favor of the visiting Northwood Wolves. Your shots, 14-1 in favor of Northwood. Taking a brief pause as now it appears as though the medic is walking back off the ice to go back over to the high school game across the way. Hopefully we just make sure that door is fully closed this time. Would hate to have someone go flying through it off a body check again. Gruda to take the draw on that one. Hall almost helped him out on that. But it'll still get played down into the defensive end. Pratt there behind the cage to challenge Northwood. A.J. Hall looking to send this one out. Takes a big hit down in the corner. Also, Gruda trying to get that one out. Also, DePoit there to take one off the body, also off the defense. Looking to do the same thing again, except that shot to go off the body of Gruda further down low in the zone. Carrying out is the Stallions. Into the offensive zone they go as Northwood looks to break out. A potential icing there, and it will be based off the official's decision. Pratt tried to send that one in originally and was then back on the icing, prepared to repeat the process he just did. Stallions now in the attacking zone. On the draw was Aiden Yorkin, who's unable to win it in his favor, but is still aggressive down behind the cage. There with Brubaker-Egner. Brubaker-Egner able to get his body in the way. Defense Driscoll able to keep that one in. A shot to go on, and glove saved there by Northwood. I won't say much about the shots right now, but one is a start. That is it's cumbersome, breaking the mold a little bit. Instead of being down 13, now they're down 12. Brubaker-Egner looking out for Yorkin. Yorkin unable to find him, and that goes to Bain, who sends it back down low. Step back for Brubaker-Egner, still on the wing. Unable to find a pass out as he'll get pressured by everyone else. And now it's left back for Yorkin, who fires a shot, and that one to go wide. Driscoll to be challenged by one. Tries to send it back for Brubaker-Egner. Dame's there with him. Also now with him is Yorkin. That play will be deemed offside, though. Driscoll there to challenge the defense. As that one will get sent in down low. Picked up by Jamison Bain. Left back for Aiden Yorkin. That one's played out by Dames. Northwood looking to break this one out. They'll get just that past the defense. That one to go off the heels of Niche. That one back to Goodman, back behind the cage. Ends up being a turnover, but now winds up in the stick of Fortson. Fortson up the wing. He's got speed, tries to wrap, goes for a shot. That one to go around just wide. Looking for a pass out center. Another shot. That one goes off the pad. Fortson on the back door, unable to find it. That one's let back down for Niche. For Goodman. Still loose down in front. The goaltender can't seem to find it. And they score! Tyler Fortson crashing the net. And that play will be deemed a goal. Northwood seemed to be fighting it as the goaltender was pushed into the net. I couldn't see it very well from up here, but that puck was loose for a millisecond between that goaltender's legs. The officials reconvening. Looks like they will have to discuss this call. The Stallions believe that they have just scored a goal, but the goaltender was pushed into the net. This is really all depending on if the puck crossed the line before the goaltender was touched or before the net was moved. Officials here to discuss the call, and it looks like they will be making the call to the box now. And they'll be heading over to discuss with Northwood now. Northwood's head coach and one of the referees of this contest talking it out currently. Obviously, if we are the Stallions, we want this goal to remain, yes, as is. However, goaltender interference could potentially be called here based on the official's decision. And that goal will be deemed good in the eyes of the officials. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, it is 2-1. Stallions now cut the lead for Northwood in half. And Fortson was the one to break the ice. Mills and Puchner now down low in the zone. Walker there to assist. Is that one to get cleared out now by Horan. Puchner down low in the zone. Quick turnover and a shot, and that one to go off the pad of Mazurek. Is that one to get cleared out now by Walker? And that one will accidentally get played into the bench. And in case you don't know the rules of hockey, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot put the puck there. Has to stay on the ice surface at all times. Preferably. Final quarter of this period now on the clock. Or been on the clock. 4:36 exactly remaining. Stallions with 4 shots. Northwood Wolves with 15. Another quick pass looking for A.J. Hall. Will he be able to win the race? And that one will be washed. A.J. Hall looking for a pass there to Gruda. But unfortunately will get intercepted. Now Thorhog back on defense is able to get a poke past one. Northwood will be able to pick it back up, though, and carry it into their attacking zone. Now back on defense is Pratt. Pratt looking for A.J. Hall. Hall looking for a way out to get pressured by one. Left in the stick of a second. Picked up by Thorhog. Trying to keep it onside. Another shot, and that one to go off a body. A.J. Hall getting a little body aggressive. Same thing with DePoit. The defense look to move it back out to DePoit. Dames there closely to follow. Dames getting a little aggressive. Brubaker Egner now with it behind the cage. Potentially looking for a wraparound, but instead a look for a drop pass to Jamison Bain. And Bain now looking to set this one up behind the cage. Bain looking back out for Egner with a shot, and that one to go off a body in front. Dames with it now down low in the corner. That would be looked for a centering pass. Nobody there. Picked up by Driscoll. Sent back down low. That one will be a potential turnover if a broken stick wasn't in the way. Driscoll with it now in his own zone. Being pressured by one. Looks for a back pass to Jamison Bain. Cross pass there. Nothing to come of it. That would be cleared out by Dames. Picked up now by Bain. Looking across for Brubaker Egner. Brubaker Egner there to get bodied into an official, oddly enough. Northwood to carry that one into their offensive zone. Played down by Goodman. Carried out looking for Brubaker Egner, who will then go in for a change. Driscoll looks for a way out to Yorkin. Now pressured by Niche. And again by Goodman. Niche trying to turn around with it is pressured by two. Northwood trying to find their way in. It's picked up by Tyler Fortson. Fortson already with 1 goal tonight. With his attitude, I can only see him trying to make it 2. Picked up now by Puchner. Puchner to carry this one past one into defensive territory. Is able to poke it past, but no shot. As the goaltender will poke that one away. Niche now to challenge one down in the corner. As that one will be sent back behind the cage. Now back out to the opposing wing. Sent away, looking for a and that one will be declared a hand pass off of Mills. In the game of hockey, you're supposed to pass a puck using your stick, not your hands. Now, most of the time, in some hockey rules and classifications, I'm not so sure in the ACHA, you are able to commit hand passes in your defensive zone, but not in the neutral zone or the attacking zone. in your defending zone, hand passes are okay. I'm not sure if that's a rule in the ACHA, but I know that that is a rule in some other hockey leagues here in the area. Stallions once again in their defensive zone off a draw. That one to be won by Northwood. Mills won't let him have it for free, though, and neither will Eli Puchner. Now left back out for Fortson. Fortson trying to maintain possession, is able to get it past two. Potentially looking for a pass back door to Walker. Finds him, shot! That one to go just high. And it looks like we have a stoppage of play. Do appear perhaps the net was off. I am unaware as to why the officials just stopped play there, but I am here to talk about the game, not ask questions. Wingers creeping a little bit on the back door there behind the official. That draw to be won in favor of Northwood, cleared out by the goaltender. Back to the defense, who will make a D-to-D pass and find their way out through the wing. Icing to be washed off. That one to be pressured by Walker. Walker going in with Pratt. Eventually finding their way out. And that one finding its way to Elnick. Left back for Pratt again. Once again looking for Elnick. Potential pit to Walker. That one to get intercepted. Final 60 seconds now rolling down here in the first period. As a play from Pratt will go off a body and back to the glove of Chris Mazurek. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to highlight Chris Mazurek again. First period alone, 16 shots on goal, and he's only given up 2. The first period, already taken 16 shots. Chris Mazurek keeping the Stallions in this game and more or less in this period. 46.8 seconds left. Stallions once again in their defensive zone. Another shot to go on, and that one goes off the body of Garrett Driscoll. As he'll continue to play that into the corner. Defense still there to keep it in there for Northwood. Driscoll tries to play that one out of the corner again. This time he'll get a little bit of assistance. And still he'll be left down on the wing to play it out. Finally comes out of the defensive zone here for the Stallions, but will more than likely find its way right back in. Mazurek will glove that and hold on to it. Not necessarily a shot, just a little something to get in the zone. Went a little wide, but he'll glove it, hold on to it, and that'll be another draw to take place down low. 18.6 seconds left here on the clock. It's not enough time to take the lead. It's enough time to get a tie. What can the Stallions do with 18.5 seconds in this first period? Puchner to get one touch off of that draw win, and that will get played right back up to Northwood's defense, who will fire another shot, and that one off the stick of Mazurek. Looking for another wraparound. Puchner there to take that opportunity away. Another shot, and another puck off the pads of Mazurek. With the final second winding down, that will be the period. First period in the books. And what a period it was, mainly for Northwood, with 17 shots as opposed to Western Michigan University's 4. Your score after one period, 2-1 in favor of the Northwood Wolves. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after a 15-minute resurface and intermission. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a second period of D1 Stallions hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As we get prepared here to start the second period. When we left previously, the score was 2-1 and still is 2-1 in favor of Northwood. Shots are still sitting 17-4. And the puck will drop, and we'll have to redrop it. And Western Michigan will start off this period with a win off the draw. Driscoll trying to clear that one out, but it'll be caught by the official. Now it's left back for Jamison Bain. Will find his way out with an extra skater. Now left back again for Driscoll, looking again for Bain. Bain can't seem to hold on to it. Is that going to get cleared out? Another turnover, a shot to go wide. Dames on that one, followed by Brubaker-Egner. Another shot to go just high. As that one hits the glass, still falls out to Northwood. Northwood looking in with another shot, and that one to go off a body and wide. That one now picked up by Aiden Yorkin. Played out now again to Dames. Dames unable to keep possession. Western trying to go for a change. Oh, the puck is still stuck on that side of the ice there, right in front of their bench. That one to be left back again for Driscoll. Driscoll trying to clear that one out. It'll be a turnover. That one goes right back to Bain. Bain, another turnover, and another shot potentially to come out of this one. A little backhander will be saved there by Chris Masaryk. Western are looking for passes out, but are leaving it in open ice, which is leading to turnover after turnover after turnover. Northwood taking good advantage of that. Turning two turnovers. Try saying that 5 times fast. Into 2 different shots. Can only benefit you there. Puchner trying to poke that one past the defense, as that one's now picked up what appears to be by Goodman. And now carried back in by Fortson. Here's already got one. Looking for number 2, and that one to go off the blocker. And Puchner tries to keep that one running along the line, but unfortunately will come just out. And that'll be offside. But will be taken just outside the offensive zone here for the Stallions. Taking the draw right now is Rory Niche, a junior from Valley Center, Kansas. That puck now to get played in by Fortson, though. Chasing behind the cage is Niche. Added at the wing is Fortson. Looking for a potential pickup there again from Niche. Tries to fire it from the hash marks. That shot to go off a body. Mills and Puchner now back on defense. And that one to go off the stick, I do believe, of Tyler Fortson. Out to the netting, and that one will be dropped down low in Western's defensive zone. Stallions already playing a much different game than they played in the first period. So far, a little bit more time with possession. A shot already to come available this period. That puck to be played in by the defense, and a big hit down low there from up high there from Walker. Now he'll come back down low and have another big hit down in the corner, leaving that one for Thorhog, trying to clear that one out. Elnick trying to assist, but unfortunately it will still fall into the hands there of Northwood. Can't keep it in, though. Defense will carry it back out to the opposing blue line, and they'll work on a counterattack. Stallions trying to fire back. As now it's picked up by Walker, unfortunately by the body, not by the stick, unable to keep control. Northwood now in their defensive zone, working on a passing play to try to get that one in the offensive zone. Well, what they're not prepared for is Pratt down low. Passing play made. Puck outside the zone. And there to attack is Horan. Trying to come away with a bit of a breakaway. And that'll be a penalty there on Horan. Delayed hand to go up. Goaltender to skate to the bench. An additional skater comes out for Northwood. But a penalty still to come to Western. 16:49 on the clock here in the first, and that penalty will go to one Ethan Horan, sophomore out of Riverview, Michigan, and that penalty will be what I do believe is a 2-minute minor for a cross-check. When going in for a hit, especially in college hockey, everything is to be done with the shoulders or the trunk of the body. Nothing with the hands, nothing with the stick. And unfortunately, Ethan Horan did raise his hands and his stick on that hit. And that will be why a cross-check is called. Western Michigan University on their first penalty kill, just waiting on the penalty time to go up on the clock. Time is up. Western Michigan, now 4-on-5. Or if you're Northwood, 5-on-4. Northwood tries to come away with a shot. That one will get poked away, and a pass is unable to be made. Down low is Pratt, looking to clear it out, and that one will get picked up by the defense. D-to-D pass, still keeping it up high. Now down to the hash marks. Gruda down to challenge. Another shot, another one goes off a body. That one still down low. That one now played out to the corner. Thorhog trying to be aggressive to clear that one out. Pratt still down low in the corner. Thorhog still there to assist. Behind him will be Eli Puchner and Gruda there in front of him. Another shot to go on, and another shot, and another save made by Chris Mazurek there in net. That one once again to go off the pad and in the glove. Already 45 seconds bled through into this penalty kill. Stallions here hoping for an icing. Aiden Yorkin to take this draw. And he'll win it back, seemingly to Driscoll. Yorkin, still to help Driscoll in the corner. Playing with him is Niche. Northwood has it at the hash marks. Now down low in the corner. Looking for a centering pass. One-timer. That one won't go through. That one is slipped just by Yorkin. Taking away any passing opportunity. Getting a body in front. That shot to go wide. Now it's left back for Northwood. Another shot and another save made by Mazurek with the chest. First, we had 45 seconds bleed through. Now we have less than 45 seconds left here on the penalty kill. Still 15:33 left to play in the period. Once again, Aiden Yorkin taking the draw here for Western Michigan. As that one will attempted to get played out by Niche. Defense, though, to keep that one in. Jamison Bain looking for a hit behind the cage. Left out again for Aiden Yorkin. Back down low to Bain. Just trying to shut off Northwood's passing lanes to get to the center house. So far, Northwood doing a good job working it around the Western Michigan University defense. Now up at the line for Northwood. D-to-D pass. Shot off the body of Niche, and Niche to get the icing. With 5 seconds left on the penalty, will pretty much clear it here for Western Michigan. And the Stallions will return to full strength. That pass poked away. Another shot. That was saved by Mazurek. Northwood still with possession. Western will finally be able to poke it away. Now with it is Horan, unable to keep possession, potentially looking back for Walker. Northwood picks it up, though. Elnick back on defense. Another shot off the blocker of Mazurek. That one down to the corner. Now picked up again by Horan. Horan from the corner. Walker there to assist. Looking for Puchner. And that one will get turned over again. And another penalty here for Western Michigan for holding. Western Michigan player seems to be confused, and that one will be called, looks to be on number 11, Eli Puchner, the freshman from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Seems like Captain Garrett Walker has something to ask about that call. let it be known, ladies and gentlemen, it is never appropriate to argue with the officials, but it is always acceptable to ask questions. Western Michigan on their second penalty kill of the game and their second penalty kill of the period. Northwood now with possession here in their offensive zone. Thorhog trying to take away that first shot option. Left down low in the corner to Bain. Thorhog still there to assist. And they'll look for an icing, and they'll come away with one. Killing the first 30 seconds was easy. The last minute 30, we can only hope. Northwood sending it back to their defense. Now looking for a way in. Now in the corner. Out now to the wing. Unable to stay on his feet. Still able to make it past the defense. Another shot. Another save made by Mazurek. About 1 minute, 8 away already from this penalty kill. On the draw now is Rory Niche. Aiden Yorkin now pressuring over to Mills, back over to Yorkin. Center back up for Niche. Tries to get a body and a shoulder in front from Mazurek will stop that shot. That'll get sent back down low here into Northwood's end as the Wolves begin a counterattack. With another shot, that one off the shoulder of Mazurek again. Mills looking to clear that one out. Defense will keep that one in. Northwood still at the hash marks. Now down to the lower corner. Looking for a wraparound to the defense at the blue line, and they'll make it. Yorkin tries to get in the way of that one. Now Niche is up. Mills down in the corner there to defend. And with him on the opposite side is Pratt. Pratt to get a stick on that one. Yorkin looking to get a body. And the body in front is Mazurek that stops that shot. Now it's back over to Niche. Still just looking to get in the way. That shot to go wide. Niche to find another icing. 10 seconds left on the penalty. And I do believe that will be power plays 0-2 here for Northwood. Wolves still moving on the attack, though. Can they get it past Mills? The pass comes off, and the pad comes in there from Mazurek. What a great save. Western moving in. Goes for a shot, but that one goes off the body. Another pass in front turns into a turnover. Now it's left back for Mills and Bain. Mills to cover Shooter. That shot to go wide. Northwood holding it in the neutral zone. Big hit in the neutral zone there made by Ryan Alnick. And Western to move in. Pass to be taken away. Between the legs. Shot goes towards. But the goaltender gets in front. Will make that stop. Now Northwood will find their way out. Back into Western's end. Western will try to play it out. Here comes Jamison Bain to get poked by one. Bain to get his body in front. Refines possession. Now it's back to Horan. Horan to be pressured by 4. Left again for Bain, and now a penalty will come here for Northwood. It'll appear to be an interference on number 27. And as fast as Western Michigan got their first 2 penalty kills, they will get their first power play of the game and of the period. 11:06 remaining here in the second. Your shots remain Western Michigan University 5, Northwood 27. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen a great multitude of things in my life. I have seen the 9/11 Memorial. I have seen the mountains of Pennsylvania. But one thing I don't see regularly is a game with a 22-shot difference, not even halfway through. Northwood wins that draw and clears that one away. And Western Michigan on their first power play will have to start from their own defensive end. Defense will look up for the wingers. Will be able to keep possession. It's left for Walker. Walker unable to keep possession. That's left back for Pratt. Pratt looking back down low. Looking back for Walker across. Pass won't be able to get there. Now left back for Fortson. Already with one. Fires! Almost has his second, but that one to go wide also. Pratt keeping it inside the zone, leaving it for Goodman. Sending it back down to Niche. Fortson coming from up high. Looking for a pass up to the defense. Another shot, and that one to go off the blocker. Still out in front. That puck is still loose, and that goalie will eventually cover it. Little pushing and shoving down there to keep the offense off the tendy. Walker, Fortson, Niche, and Goodman all with opportunities there. But nothing to come of it. Still in the offensive zone is Western Michigan. Aiden Yorkin sends it back in off a draw win there from Brubaker-Egner. And now this one left back for Thorhog. That one is still to be kept in the zone just barely off of Puchner. Puchner to find it again. Finds its way back to Yorkin. Back down low to Brubaker-Egner. Another shot to go on. That one off a body. Thorhog keeps that one in the zone. Thorhog to Brubaker-Egner. Unable to catch it. It's back to Yorkin. Back to Brubaker-Egner. Northwood will find their way out off an icing. Masaryk holds on to that one. And he'll set it back behind net and set it up for Puchner. Puchner back to Yorkin. Cross to Brubaker-Egner. Brubaker-Egner walks his way in. A body will find him. Wound up behind the cage. Northwood to clear that one away. Western trying to keep it inside the zone, but that one's still played out to Northwood. Northwood looking for a pass. Brubaker-Egner to get in the way on that one. And another penalty to come here for Western on Eli Puchner. Western on their third penalty kill of the period and of the game. And it looks like Eli Puchner will be sent to the box 2 minutes for cross-checking. That one, I wish I could tell you more about, but I guess I wasn't looking at that particular spot on the ice. Driscoll on a 2-on-1 off this draw with Jamison Bain. Now it's left back up for Gruda. Across for Thorhog, back down for Jamison Bain. Driscoll there to assist, and now it's left for Gruda, who looks for the icing, and it'll at least come out of the zone. Northwood will find possession. Moving their way back in is Northwood. Poked away by Western. Cleared out again by Gruda. To get the poke check more specifically was Thorhog on that one. And now quickly to turn it around is Gruda. You got three coming, and with a shot, that would go off the pad. Rebound to go off the stick of a defender. Official here to hammer the whistle. He is pointing somewhere. Why play was stopped, I am unaware. Perhaps I do believe it was the net came off, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Western to win that draw there in the offensive end. Northwood still to come away with possession. Yorkin to be the one challenging there on the penalty kill, as Northwood will work their way in. Behind the cage, Western still in a puck battle in the corner. Fighting that one out is Aiden Yorkin. Behind him to assist is Sidney Pratt. And also with him are Mills and Niche. Another shot to go on, and off the glove of Masaryk. But not in the glove. Mills to challenge two. Yorkin to challenge another two. Now Niche to find a poke. Tries to keep possession. Tries to clear it out of the zone, but the defense will get a hand on it and just be able to keep it in, but not for long as Niche finds a break. Is he able to get it past the second? He still has possession. And with a shot, that one goes off the goaltender's pad. The goaltender will lose his stick in the process. But now with Northwood getting a break in a Western zone, he'll find the time to come out of his crease and grab it. Northwood working their way at the blue line will get poked away by Yorkin, still pressured by Mills and Walker. sent across but unable to catch that pass. And now we are back to 5-on-5. Puck loose in front. Mazurek with a split to make the save. Carrying it out now is Pratt. Pratt unable to keep a hold as Mazurek will step out of his paint, cover the puck, and we'll get a stoppage of play. 6:47 left on the clock here in the second period. Your shots on goal, 29 for Northwood and 8 for Western Michigan. Their score is still 2-1. Scoreless in this period on both fronts. As Northwood, a mishap in communication, and now Western is on a breakaway with a shot right into the goaltender's chest. He'll be able to save it. Ethan Horan got a break off of that one and wanted that top corner. But I think just bobbled on that shot. Goaltender able to make an easy save off an easy shot. Western Michigan now in the offensive end on this draw. Walker at center is unable to win it, and Horan unable to keep it in behind the cage. Northwood to try and move it out. Walker to intercept there at the neutral zone. Picked up behind the cage again by Northwood. That one sent back in. Goaltender to keep possession. Sent back out to the defense. Walker trying to intercept. Goodman also trying to get in the way. Now here comes Fortson. A few more passes made. Another shot on off the pad of Mazurek. That one to go out to the corner. As now Goodman tries to play this one past the body. Defense off a quick change. We'll be able to hold this one in the neutral zone here for Northwood. The Wolves look to set up an attack. Trying to send it out is Jamison Bain, unable to get a good stick on it. Now picking it up is Goodman, leaving it out for Fortson. Niche there with him at the line. Ready for a rebound. Fortson with a shot, and that one to go off a glove. Another shot, that one to go off the pad. Sent down low to the corner. Bain, I do believe that is. It's now Fortson challenges behind the cage. Jamison Bain still working with Tyler Fortson. Trying to keep this one inside at the line. Won't be able to hold it in. Niche will be able to pick it back up, send it back in. They'll be offside, and Western will be looking to regroup. Wolves looking to set up a counterattack. Fortson laying on pressure. Now laying on pressure is Goodman, as Western will go in for a change also. Northwood, one moving in on 3. Looking for a shot top corner. That one to get taken away by Mazurek. Yorkin looking for a back pass to his defensive partner, Driscoll. Driscoll looking for another out. Now to Mills. Mills looking to Goodman. Goodman looking out. And icing will get washed on that. As now Mills holds it his defensive end, looking for Yorkin. Yorkin looking across. Potential high stick there, as no one really wants to touch it. As a high stick call will be made, and that face-off will take place outside. .429 left on the clock in the second period. Less than 5 minutes remaining. This period still, again, on both ends, still scoreless. That one to be sent into the zone and covered by Mazurek. Offense quickly there to crash, but the whistle to come soon after the cover. Western Michigan unable to win that draw. It'll come away in possession of Northwood, but it'll get picked up by Mills behind the cage. Sent back around looking for Dames, who will wind up taking a big hit there on the hash marks. Will find its way out. Northwood quickly refines possession. And now Dames looking for possession and another hit. That would be sent in by Northwood. Mills able to get the hit there. Official gets in the way on that one. As I do believe that was Eli Puchner that just knocked down the official there down low in the corner. Almost resulting in a goal there for Western, but what a save made by Mazurek. And it looks like we have a stoppage of play. One side I do believe wants a penalty, but on one end I do believe I saw a hand pass. Seems like we have some words exchanged here from Northwood's coach to the officials. And we do have a penalty coming up here for number 68 for the Northwood Wolves. Words will be exchanged between the official and the captain as well. For slashing will be the call there. A 2-minute minor. Western Michigan on another power play. Now down in the offensive zone is Tyler Fortson. Looking for his defense. A pass out in front to Goodman. But unfortunately, nothing to come of that. Western Michigan will have to restart here from their defensive half. And starting us off is Pratt. Looking for Walker. Looking across to Fortson. Fortson finds his way into the corner. Looking for a drop pass. We'll find Goodman. We'll find the defense. Another shot. And that one, goaltender will save. It looks like we'll have some slight face grabbing after that save. Good shot. Good save. No need to be grabbing at people's faces. 1:30 remaining in the penalty. 3:12 remaining in the period. Western Michigan on a 5-on-4 power play. Looking to tie more than anything right now as they're still down 2-1 after the first period. Fortson to win that one back to Walker. Send it across to Pratt. Back down to Walker. To Goodman. To Niche. But now for Walker. Walker. Back down to Niche. Looking across. No pass to come there. Is that one again picked up by Pratt. Back over to Walker. Walker looking back down for Niche. Niche looking across. And the net comes off. Goaltender wanted to spring off that post there, but it wound up kicking out. Completely unintentional, just a little more power on that post than we would have liked, right? Just a little. Western Michigan to switch up lines. Taking the draw now is number 7, Thorhog. Won it back to Puchner. Puchner with a shot. That would go off a body. Yorkin now at the hash marks, just trying to keep that one in. As it'll get sent out and picked back up by Puchner. Puchner to Thorhog. Looking for Eldick, but it'll get picked up by the defense off a body. So send it down low, looking for another opportunity. Carrying up now is Elnick. Puchner trying to help him keep that one in. Instead, it gets set back up for Yorkin. Yorkin back to Elnick. Thorhog in the corner to assist. Looking out for Brubaker Egner. He'll get hit in the corner and lose possession. Now it goes back to Northwood, who will ice the puck. Mazurek there to catch it in the glove. Set it back behind the cage for Puchner. And with 10 seconds left on this penalty, Western will have to act fast. Puchner with speed up through the middle. Leaving it back for one more shot. He scores! Rory Niche with a drop pass from Eli Puchner will tie the game at 2. 1:44 on the clock, and it's a power play goal. Eli Puchner, the freshman from St. Louis Park, Minnesota, with speed through the neutral zone, drops it for a Rory Niche to find his first of the game and to tie it at 2 with just under 2 minutes left in this second period. Western Michigan to win that draw also. Fortson to maintain possession until getting knocked off by 2 bodies. Northwood, Northwood looking for another shooting opportunity. Falls back to the defense. Defense won't be able to keep that one in, as they'll have to come back out and regroup. Now down to the corners, Northwood. Northwood looking for a centering pass. That one's still out in front. Defense cleared away. Almost a turnover. Unable to keep possession. Jamison Bain will find that one looking for Garrett Driscoll. Driscoll unable to hold it. That one will get cleared back out for Niche, and it will be deemed offside by the officials. 1:05 remaining in the second period. We are now tied at 2 shots. Western Michigan 13, Northwood University 32. Northwood to win that faceoff. They'll get sent back down to Puchner, though. Puchner looking up for Elnick. And Elnick still to hold possession. Elnick sent down low to Puchner. Puchner wants one of his own as he's still battling with it behind the cage. Sent back up to the defense to pick it up as Walker. Puchner still trying to be there. And now it's left back for Mills. Sends that one in. That one goes off the goalie's stick and out to the corner. Northwood to pick that one up. Puchner with it again. Sends it in, offside, now good. Northwood, I keep saying Northwestern, my apologies. Northwood have an opportunity to regroup here. The Wolves almost able to find their way out through the neutral zone. And eventually, it will find its way in. And, it looks like we have a little bit of a scuffle. The puck was brought into the zone off of a hand play, which is not allowed by number 43 for the Northwood Wolves. And number 43 also shot the puck after the whistle. That will land him in the box for 5.7 seconds left in this period. And Western Michigan will carry a power play into the third. That faceoff will take place in Northwood zone. Walker to take the draw for Western. Walker to win it back to Fortson with another shot off the pad. Another shot. That one off the pad again. Back down to the corner as the 5 seconds run out. And that will be period number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, after 2 periods of contest, your current score, Western Michigan 2, Northwood University 2. Shots, Western Michigan 16 and Northwood 32. Northwood still with 1:55 left on the clock for a penalty. And that penalty will wind down at the start of the third period. Ladies and gentlemen, we were once again going to take a brief intermission for a resurface. We will be right back here in 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, period number 3 coming in hot. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. After a quick resurface and a 15-minute intermission, we are winding down the clock to our final 20 minutes here in period number 3. In case you weren't here for the first or second period, first period was 2-1 in favor of Northwood, the Wolves. But the Stallions would score in the second period only once to tie it again at 2. Shots 32-16 in favor of Northwood. And Western Michigan will start the third period with a 1-minute, 55-second power play. Niche to take the draw for Western, and he'll win it in favor. Bain looking for Pratt, and they'll set up from their own end. Pratt back to Bain. That one to get sent back in. Play will be deemed offside. Walker there to retrieve that at the hash marks. Sent back down for Pratt, and Western will reset. Pratt looking for Bain. Bain cannot seem to hold on to that puck, unfortunately, as Mazurek plays that one out from behind the cage. Picked up now by Niche. Niche looking for Bain. Again, just unable to hold on to it as now it's left for Walker. Walker to play that one in. Niche to crash down low. That would be played out by Northwood. Tyler Fortson. The freshman from Brighton, Michigan, already has 1 goal tonight. And he'll leave it back for Brubaker-Egner. We'll leave it back for Aiden Yorkin. Back to Brubaker-Egner. Thorhog to pick that one up and drop it for Puchner. Puchner to get it past one. Goes for shot and scores! Aiden Puchner with the violent celebration puts another power play goal on the board for Western Michigan, and it's 3-2, 18:40 in the third for the Stallions. Eli Puchner with a drop pass from Travis Thorhog sent to him by Rory Niche. We'll make this contest once again 3-2 in favor of the Western Michigan University Stallions. Brubaker-Egner there on that draw at center. Northwood will come away with the win. And will start from their own defensive end. Big hit there by Dames. And another hit there by Aiden Yorkin, trying to keep this one out of the defensive zone. Shot almost to go in. That one off a body. And that one gets picked off by Western. Shot almost to go on, but he'll get picked away. It looks like that'll be Aiden Yorkin who almost had that shot, and he'll go down. And it seems as though we are calling for medical attention. He'll slowly work his way up here. Aiden Yorkin battling with 2 there at the tops of the circles. They'll both battle for the puck. Yorkin, unfortunately, loses an edge, and he'll land back first into the boards. And it sounded like he landed hard, but Yorkin gets right back up, hunching his way over to the bench. And it looks like the medic on staff is awaiting Aiden Yorkin there on the Western Michigan bench. Hockey coaches will tell you, we want you to play hard, not play hurt. Pratt looking for Tyler Fortson, who also was looking for Goodman there. But nothing to come of. Icing to be washed as Northwood will win the race, and that one will be picked up by Thorhog off a pass from Pratt. But Pratt will wind up regaining possession. Picked up with the hash marks by Goodman. Goodman looking for Thorhog. Thorhog finds a way out, and now Western will go in for a change. Another puck sent in. That one played off by Mazurek to the corner. Played by Walker to the opposite. Picked up by Goodman. Fort's in there to attack also. They're still in the neutral zone as Northwood trying to gain possession as Walker will take away that opportunity. Now Driscoll to fire that one. As that one will get carried in by Elnick with a quick back pass looking for Puchner, but a body in front to take that one away. Cleared out and off the glass. Picked up by the defense. Now with it is Mills. Northwood regaining possession. Walker still putting on pressure. Elnick to get a stick on that pass. That play will be deemed onside. Northwood still came away with that one, but no shot to come from it. Puchner and Mills to challenge down in the corner. And now to assist is Elnick. Will try to maintain possession. Breaks it into the offensive zone. It'll get picked up by Northwood there behind the cage and carried out by the defense. Icing to be washed. As Mazurek thought that was going to be an icing, but was still ready to play the rebound. Mills there on defense also to knock down that body. Puck will be frozen and played out of Western Michigan University's defensive zone. Ladies and gentlemen, 16:24 left to play here in the third period, and Northwood will win this faceoff. Another shot sent on net and played off the pad of Mazurek. Will be played behind the cage there by, I do believe that is DuPoit. And another shot on, and Mazurek to make another save. That whistle will be blown for a dislodged net. And that next play face-off to come there in the defensive zone for the Stallions. Western Michigan to win that draw. To pick it up off the draw is Jamison Bain. Bain to play that one off the glass, looking for A.J. Ho. It'll get picked up by Northwood instead. Northwood plays that one into their offensive zone off of a tip. Bain there behind the cage to challenge. And they'll be able to get it out of the zone once again. Northwood sends it right back in, this time to the opposite corner. Now coming away with possession from the hash marks out to the blue line is A.J. Hull. Hull looking for Driscoll, looking back to Hull. Off the wall, out of the zone. Now set up back again for Northwood. Hull wanting to make a hit. And a penalty coming to Western Michigan University here. Most likely to one, number 94, Drew DuPoit, the junior from Cumming, Georgia. As he made that hit a little too early, and that will be deemed an interference call. Western Michigan to go on yet another penalty kill. So far this game, their penalty kills have been decent enough to keep pucks out of the net. As we start down to their defensive zone now, let's see if we can keep that ball rolling. Northwood moving around the defense, and it's Puchner trying to clear that one out, but the defense off a skate will keep that one in. Another shot off the stick of Mazurek down to the corner. That would get picked up by Niche trying to fire it out, but picked up by the defense once again. Another shot, and Niche in front to block that one, saving Mazurek's body. And now Northwood will have to start from their own end. Northwood loses a tire and loses possession there at center ice. Northwood trying to keep this one in, is now sent behind the cage. Mills taking away any passing options, set back up to the defense. Another shot on by Mazurek. Another shot on from Mazurek. Both pad saves, the shot and the rebound. And another shot on. That one gets tipped, and that one to go just wide. Northwood still working with it up at the top. Another shot to go off of Bodiello. Another shot, and he scores. Northwood's first power play goal of the game will tie it at 3. Here with 14:08 left to play in the third period. Western Michigan's penalty kill looked really good in the second period. I do believe they had 3 penalty kills at one point and managed to not get scored on any of them. But now, with their 4th penalty kill, they'll find their first penalty kill goal, the first power play goal here for Northwood. Game now tied at 3. Shots are sitting 17 for Western Michigan and 33 for Northwood. Northwood to win that draw. Immediately sent into Western's defensive zone. The offense will try to play that one. Instead, it'll get picked up by Niche off a quick touch from Goodman. Niche still chasing this puck to the corner. Northwood moving in on the attack. A shot made and a save made by Mazurek. That puck will get held. The next play faceoff will be in Western's defensive zone. Ladies and gentlemen, we highlighted him a lot in the first period. Didn't say much about him in the second. But we got to shout him out again one more time for number 40 between the pipes for Western Michigan. Chris Mazurek, the sophomore from Batvia, Illinois. 34 shots on net tonight, 31 shots saved. 2 of them in regular 5-on-5 play, and another one a power play goal. And still trying to keep his team in this game, no less. We're trying to move his team forward into the offensive zone will be Pratt. Looking for Walker to be intercepted. Now picked up again by Thorhog, who sends it in. Goaltender will try to go behind the paint to pick that one up. Walker now in the corner to challenge 2. As that one will get sent up and out of play. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can't hear it over my microphone, but what my ears can hear is some jabber-jawing going on the ice down low. Words are being exchanged as a tied game could make things a little heated. And Elnick to receive a penalty here for Western Michigan, putting them back on the penalty kill. What that penalty was for, I am unsure. But nonetheless, Western Michigan once again on the penalty kill. Northwood moving it around the defense. Working up top is Gruda. Down low is Puchner. Along with him down low is Pratt and Thorhog. There to help out with Gruda. Gruda is able to get a poke out past the defense, clears it out of the zone. And Western Michigan braced to defend from Northwood's own defensive end. Northwood to get it out past the blue line. Now out through center with speed into the offensive zone. Down low to the circles, tries to get one to go center. The 45 will be back behind the cage. 9 to keep this one in for Northwood. Moving on defense is Puchner. Puchner still working down low. Uses his body, blocks the shot. And now stepping up top is Gruda. Gruda now out with Niche. Pratt still assisting down low. Another shot goes on. A save made by Mazurek. Another shot, another save, and a rebound. Finally gets it past Mazurek. Northwood take the lead of another power play goal. Northwood Wolves regaining their 1-goal lead here in the third period. 4-3 now for Northwood Wolves with 11:55 left on the clock here in the third period. Western Michigan aggressive off that next draw. It'll be down to the, it'll be down to their voice crack there. Oh my word! It'll be down to their defensive zone before they're able to get a chance to break out. Aiden Yorkin there to assist him is Brubaker Egner, and will now be brought back to Jamison Bain. Bain looking through two. Unfortunately, is unable to find it past the third. Northwood moving in. Another shot and another glove save made by Chris Mazurek. Next play faceoff will be once again down low in Western Michigan's defensive zone. Taking the draw for Western is number 5, Garrett Walker. We've mentioned him a couple different times. The senior from Springville, New York. Very fast and very aggressive for standing at 5'8". Another shot on there from Northwood. Is that one will get saved again by Chris Mazurek? Northwood tries to keep that in. They'll be successful. Behind the cage comes another shot. Mazurek ready to make the save. Now out in the corner is Driscoll looking for Bain. Eventually its way out to Elnick. Will be unable to take possession. Left out again for Northwood. Finding their way through the defense. Northwood with another shot, and that one to go wide. Northwood keeps it in the offensive zone. All the Western players seem to stop there for a second, as Northwood almost trying to find it through two. No shot to come avail there. Still moving around the hash marks is Northwood. Pressuring is Driscoll. Pressuring now is Bain. Defense with it up top. Bring it right back behind the cage. Driscoll still trying to find a way out from back there. Taking out now is Elnick, who finds a turnover. Northwood will hold it before they move back into the zone, keeping that play onside. Elnick leaving it behind the cage, looking for Driscoll. Driscoll unable to keep possession as he'll get stick lifted. Northwood moving with it once again behind the net. Driscoll couldn't find the puck there for a second. And that one will be played out of play off of Northwood's number 9. I do apologize for any Northwood fans watching our stream, as I do not have a roster in front of me for Northwood, so I do not know their names. And as large as the lettering is on their nameplates, it's still kind of tough to read some of them from here, so I do apologize. The Wolves will receive a hand pass there off the draw, as their captain, number 68, will commit that infraction, and that faceoff will come down low into Western's offensive end. Officials here looking to be discussing where the faceoff is going to take place, and that faceoff will come outside. Western Michigan still slightly in favor. Tyler Fortin to find his way out from that draw. Another shot, and that one to go off the blocker and in the glove. Save made by number 36 in net for Northwood. Another shot for Tyler Fortin. The freshman from Brighton, Michigan, looking hot tonight with 1 goal already, multiple other shots fired, multiple different scoring opportunities. Niche off the draw, and finding his way back to Pukner with another shot. Pukner with another shot. Northwood to make the save. And a little bit of pushing and shoving down there in front, but as a defenseman myself, I can't say the number 1 rule as a defenseman is, well, don't touch my goalie. So I can see it reasonable as to why they'd be a little defensive. Offenseman crash the net, defenseman protect the goalie, and everyone's safe, everyone's doing their job. Pukner, now with it for the defensive line, is looking to Fortson. Fortson looking for Goodman in the corner. Goodman looking back to Fortson. Finds Niche. Another shot off the goaltender and back out, looking again for Pukner. Pukner will lose his stick. Trying to make a couple body plays there to keep himself productive. And now Mills, back seemingly by his lonesome, will get in the way off that shot. That one will fly high and out of play. The face-off to go back down low into Western Michigan's defensive zone. Ladies and gentlemen, just over 9 minutes remaining in this third period. Your shots remain 20-37 in favor of Northwood, and the score 4-3 also in favor of Northwood. Northwood Wolves will win that race, and icing will be called and brought right back down to Western's defensive zone. Northwood to win that draw. Another shot to go off of a body to trickle out in front of Masaryk. As Pratt on defense tries to poke that one out, leaving it again for A.J. Hull. Off a pass, Pratt looking to pressure in the corner again. Now looking again for Hull. Another shot to go on off the body of Gruda. Another shot to go on off another body, this time off of Thorhog. Another shot, this time off the pads of Masaryk. 3 shots, find 3 different bodies. Puck still loose by the hash marks. Now sent to the high other end of the blue line. Now back down to the corner. Picking it up is Pratt. Looking for Hull. Will find its way out of the zone. Hull wants to find a hit, but Northwood, 43 there, will hit the brakes. Off the glass and out comes Northwood. Jamison Bain looking for Rory Niche. Now is left back with just 2. Fires a shot. That one to go off a stick and goes wide. Niche keeps that one in for Goodman. The shot. He scores! Niche keeps the puck in zone. Finds the centering pass to Goodman, who goes bar down and ties the game at 4 for Western Michigan. 7:47 left on the clock. It's plays like that, plays like Niche, staying on top of your man, staying on that body, and not letting that puck go until you are out of gas. Niche stayed on that, keeps it at the hash marks, finds a perfect centering pass out to Goodman, and Goodman is able to find the back of the net because the only person challenging him is the goaltender. And just like that, we're tied at 4, but Northwood find one right back. And I mean right back, like they just scored it just now. That was fast. 5-4, 7:35 left on the clock now. Northwood once again take their 1-goal lead. A new puck awarded to the officials. That may have been that player's first goal of his either season or college career. Either way, keep that puck. Good for him. Mills looking for his way out of the zone to Brubaker Egner. Also assisting him is Aiden Yorkin. But now from the tops of the blue line comes the defense with another shot. Glove save made by Masaryk. .7:18 left on the clock here in the third period. Western scoring 1 goal to make it 4-4. But Northwood right back to tie it up. Or right back to take the lead, excuse me. Icing to be called, play to be sent back down to Western Michigan University's defensive zone. Still just over 7 minutes left to play here in the third period. To win that draw is Aiden Yorkin, looking back for Eli Puchner. Yorkin tries to clear that one out. Defense to keep it in at the blue line. Aiden Yorkin to take a big hit down there in the corner. But Mills there to retract another hit. And now to pass it out to Brubaker Egner. looking at three. Now it's back to Mills. The shot goes on. Or sorry, not Mills. That's Walker. Shot goes on. Two shots go on. Both to go off the pad. Back out to the corner. Aiden Yorkin still holding possession. Now Northwood look for a way out. Walker tries to intercept. Be left back for Yorkin once again. Walker sends that one in. Gets hit from behind into another player. And Northwood will take advantage behind their own cage. Looking to pass that one in. It'll wind up in the feet of Mr. Goodman. Goodman sends it out looking for Fortson. Fortson sends it in off the body of an official. And that one will bounce out to the opposing corner. Now over to Thorhog. Thorhog looking for what I believe is Niche down there. Niche unable to hold it. Goodman almost able to keep it in, but it'll be deemed offside. Fortson still down low. Seemingly not seeing the official's hand up, but it'll be played out of the zone either way. Northwood sends it into the corner. Pratt there behind the cage to assist him is Thorhog. Fortson not too far behind. Niche also there in the corner. Puck will come free in favor of Northwood behind the cage, looking for a drop pass. Fortson to keep pressure and possession off of Northwood. Northwood to bring it back in. Still onside. Now picked up in that opposite corner is Driscoll. Brubaker-Egner now up the wing. Looking to break past two. Can't keep possession. Still manages to stay on his feet. Looked like he was about to lose his balance there for a minute. Now the defense will pick this one up, and Northwood will carry it out through the neutral zone into the attacking zone. Now along the hash marks. Looking for a centering pass. That one will go behind the cage. Another shot from the defense and a broken stick on that one. We'll send this one back behind the cage. Driscoll there to pressure. Now with two others is Bain. Walker there to assist. Brubaker-Egner looking to take possession at the hash marks. So we left back for Bain. Lost by Bain, almost picked up by Walker, but back again to Northwood. Behind the net they go. Bain looking back to Driscoll. Walker there to assist in the corner. Driscoll still digging this one out. Walker thinks he sees it. Trying to dig it out past that sign. And now it's left back in possession of Ryan Elnick. Elnick pokes that one out to Egner, to Brubaker-Egner. Possession to be wound up back to Bain. Looking for Elnick. Icing will be called based on the official's decision. So once again, go back down to Western's defensive zone. Just under 4 minutes left on the clock here in the third period. Western Michigan still down by 1. If I were Western Michigan on the bench right now, I would be thinking, we have less than 5 minutes in the third period. We're down a goal, and we're down 18 shots. What can we do different? What have we been doing? What hasn't worked? What can we try that might? This is the part where we start thinking about the back of the playbook. Let's see what Western has saved in their files here with 3:40 left. A rebound shot off a pass off the net to go off of Masaryk, as Northwood still left behind the cage to be challenged by Driscoll. Down there to assist him is Bain and Brubaker-Egner. Northwood just seeming to hold the puck there at the boards, and now it'll be let out. Still at the hash marks. Now just above. Bain trying to clear. Left back for Brubaker-Egner. Back to the defense. It'll be tipped by Fortson. And that one will be sent in. No icing there. Northwood looking to clear it out of their own zone. Goodman tries to get a stick on it. Won't be able to stay on his feet. But now it'll wind its way back to Goodman. Find his way into the zone. Big hit there. Goodman to go down, but he'll get right back up. Fortson with it in the corner. Northwood find possession there at the hash marks. Carried out through the neutral zone with speed. Now down to the corner looking for a cross-ice pass. That one will get taken away by Niche. That puck will find its way out of play. Face-off will be sent back down low into Western Michigan's defensive zone. A lot of defensive zone face-offs this game. Puchner kind enough to get that puck back out of the stands for the officials. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the third period. And it looks like Western Michigan calling their timeout. A timeout has been called, unaware for which team. More than likely Western Michigan. Now again, in this case, if I'm Western Michigan, honestly, down with 1 goal with 2.5 minutes left on the clock, if I'm being fully honest, I'm looking to pull the goaltender. Chris Mazurek has been the dividing point in this game between a substantial loss and a slight loss right now for Western Michigan. But in this instance, being down 1 goal with that much time left on the clock, pulling Mazurek would be your best bet. Getting that 6th attacker. But the first things first, you have to secure yourself in the attacking zone. You're not going to pull your goalie when plays down in your zone. That's not how that works. It could be, but it doesn't work out well. Western Michigan fresh off a timeout. Northwood, certain they're discussing things over in their corner also. Northwood to win that draw. Kept in barely at the blue line. Shot to go wide. And that one to be carried out by Puchner. Niche carry that one in, looking for a centering pass potentially to Goodman. It's good one to take possession, and now will Thorhog. Thorhog with another shot, and that one to go off a pad. That will come just outside the zone, picked up by Niche. Niche to Goodman. To Thorhog. Into the zone. Shot to go off a body. Goodman in the corner. Thorhog to pressure the defense. The defense will find their way out. That will make it all the way, and that will be an icing based on the official's decision. Mazurek talking to the bench. Seeming like he's about to prepare to come in here. Walker, Yorkin, and Brubaker-Egner are your offensive line out right now. And another timeout to be called, this time for Northwood. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not lie to you. I do not have a seat that I am currently sitting on. I am currently standing. But if I did have a seat, I'd be on the edge of it. Very close 1-goal game. Both timeouts now used. Both teams digging to their last reserve to pull away a win. Western Michigan trying not to get swept in this 2-game series and hoping to take at least one win here on home ice. The numbers don't necessarily look in their favor, but they have the time. .151 left here on the clock in the third period. Western Michigan taking a little longer on that timeout. And Western is prepared now with 6 attackers. Mazurek on the bench. He has been pulled. .151 left on the clock. As I said previously, Western now with a 6th attacker. to try and bring this game back to tying stance. Tyler Fortson with it first, back behind the cage, looking for Niche. Niche looking back out to his defense. That'll wind up to Puchner, then back to Brubaker-Egner. That'll wind up passing it back to Tyler Fortson. Fortson with it in the corner. Can't seem to find an open lane, but he finds one. Over to Puchner. Now back to Thorhog with a shot, and it's tipped, and that one comes just outside. Thorhog keeps that one in to Brubaker-Egner. Looking to Fortson. Now again to Puchner, and that shot to go off a body. That one sent long. It could be it, but it goes just wide. Icing will be washed. Icing will be washed as Northwood will win the race to the puck. And I do believe that will be a good goal. And that'll be 6-4 for Northwood Wolves. Mazurek to take his spot back in net. Western Michigan now down 2 goals with 1:10 left on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, if I am being honest with you, I have seen closer comebacks. Western may be down, but they're not out. Retrieving another puck. Appears to be another first-time goal, an empty netter. Probably one of the easier ones, but a goal's a goal. Final 60 seconds. Now winding down. Another shot, a wraparound shot saved by Mazurek. A rebound with the splits to make another save. Net will come dislodged with the final 60 seconds on the clock. And the first play in the last minute will be down in Western's defensive end. Walker on the draw here. Western will take possession here for Mills. Mills looking across to Pratt. Pratt looking for Tyler Fortson, but Fortson unable to hold on there at center. Mazurek wraps around behind the net looking for Pratt. Pratt is looking for Fortson. Fortson looking back out to Pratt. Pratt finds possession, has one in front, one to his side. Stuck on the hash marks, tries to take it back around behind. Now it's left back for Goodman. Goodman tries to get one more touch on it. Goodman takes it to the hash marks. Looking for Fortson at the blue line. Looking back down for Goodman. Goodman unable to keep possession. Will get poked away from him. Mazurek will hold on to this one. 13.1 seconds left on the clock in the third period. Now, I've said I've seen worse comebacks, but I don't think I've seen any team score 2 goals in 13 seconds starting from their own defensive end. Draw one in favor of Northwood. Northwood with another shot, and that one finds the top corner. Northwood's defense will find one more off the final draw, or the final draw down low, as another faceoff will take place here at center now. 8.3 seconds left on the clock. And number 7 for Northwood will score that one. Number 7 scores number 7 for Northwood. Picture that. Final 8 seconds winding down. Northwood wins the draw at center, sends it into Western zone, and that will be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 periods of play, your final statistics are the winners for tonight's game, Northwood Wolves against the Western Michigan University Stallions with a final score of 7-4. Your total shots, Northwood 44, Western Michigan 23. Again, just going to give a big shout out here to Chris Mazurek in net tonight. 44 shots, and he let only 7 of them go. Chris Mazurek kept his team in this game. And that was one heck of a game to watch. And I thank the Stallions for, as always, letting me play-by-play commentate. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike Sharippa, and we'll see you guys next time here on Western Michigan University Stallions, Acha D1 YouTube channel.